Hey guys, how are you? Welcome into a Friday morning edition of the Daily Juice Podcast. I'm your host, Matt Perrault, here every single morning on BettingPros.com. Always being brought to you by BetMGM. You guys can follow me on Twitter at SportsTalkMatt. The offer, as always, $10, $150 on any event. You win it automatically if you use that promo code JUICE150 with BetMGM on the BetMGM app or BetMGM.com. All right, so we got a lot to get to on the program today. I've got one college football play for you guys coming up here on a Friday. A full unit play. I've got the parlay for you that we do every Friday. And I have got two NFL total bets I want to give you coming up as well. Now, let's just quickly recap last night. It was a good night. Full unit win on the -4.5 in the first half for Tampa Bay. Holy sweat. Thank you, Greg Zuerlein. Missing the extra point. Saved our bacon. Missing the field goal. Saved our bacon. So we got lucky. Big luck. The parlay, -1.5. That cashed. Why? Greg Zuerlein, he missed the extra point, and he missed the field goal. Tampa comes from behind. They win by 2. We teased 7.5 down to 1.5, and that hit. The other leg, Buffalo Bills, just to win their game. Half a point, get a win over the Steelers, and then we will cash the first 2-leg parlay of the 2021 season for us. So we get the first half right, check. 2 prop bets we gave you guys. CeeDee Lamb over on receiving 63.5. He got that. Michael Gallup, unfortunately, gets hurt. He gets injured early in the game. I forget what was the injury that he suffered. I think it was an ankle injury. But I don't know if they ever said exactly what the ankle injury was. But Michael Gallup was out, so that went under. So it was a 2-1 day overall, but we're up a unit. So very cool. Like it. Take it every single time. 2-1, up a unit. We'll take the big bet coming through for us. That's great. So a good night for us. Another winning night for us here for the Daily Juice Podcast. I gave you the 5 team members plus me for the Circa $1,000,003 contest. The Daily Juice has been entered. You can track it. You can watch it. You can follow along, okay? We will put up our first plays today during the Discord channel. Before I get on the plane, I will post what the 5 bets are for week 1 for the Daily Juice Discord channel. This week is all just massively messed up, okay? I'm getting on a plane today. I will be doing the podcast on Friday night for Saturday morning. I will be doing it from a hotel room. Dan Harris and I are doing the live stream I'm in my hotel. Dan's going to be doing props. It's just kind of a mess. I'm completely and totally all over the place right now, and I don't know really where my brain is. So just one of those stressful, really ridiculous times for me right now. So just kind of bear with me if this podcast gets a little wonky or weird over the next couple of days. I'm in a wedding. I got bets going. I don't know how I'm going to watch games. I'm going to be, doing rehearsal dinners and being in weddings and then flying back for shows and whatnot. So just kind of a crazy deal. So it's just kind of how it is. But we are looking good for the weekend. 1-0 officially for our full unit plays for the NFL with that 4.5 point cash, which is really nice. So again, I got 1 play tonight in college football. I've got the parlay, and I got 2 NFL totals to give you, full unit bets to give you. So 3 plays in totality to give you guys coming up here today. But we have sent you an email. It's important that if you have won a position, if you have won a spot in the Daily Juice Circa Million team, I have not heard from all of you. I've heard from one of you. There's 2 others that are out there. If you guys don't want to be on the team, you need to tell me immediately. Like the second you hear this, if you don't want to be on it, you have got to eject and let somebody else take your spot. You're going to have to be involved, okay? You're going to have your picks be put out there. You're part of our team, okay? So the team, we're going to have Discord chats going on every week, okay? Not this week because we're screwed up, but every other week going forward for 17 weeks. Now, if you miss a week because you have a conflict or something, that's totally different, but your involvement, you can't just be along for the ride and look to cash money. You got to be involved. And don't get me wrong, if you're MIA for a long period of time, I will kick you off the team, okay? Like I will boot you from the Circa Million team. You have to be active. So I've heard from one of you who is super excited. I haven't heard from the other 2. I've tagged you guys in 2 different posts in the Discord channel. I haven't seen a DM. I haven't seen a post on Discord from you guys. So there's a laundry list of people who want to be on this team. So if you don't want on, here's your warning, okay? Before we really get going and we enter the picks in, if you don't want to be on, DM me in the morning, okay? At Sports Talk Matt is everything. Twitter, Instagram, on the Discord channel, and say, Matt, thanks for the offer. I'm going to pass, okay? If you want on, I need to hear from you, and you should know who you are by now. You've gotten an email confirmation, you've answered yes, and you've been tagged multiple times, okay? So I don't care if I'm not on the Discord channel all that much. Change that immediately. You will need to be on the Discord channel a ton if you're going to be part of the Daily Juice team for the Circa $1,000,003 contest. I know it's only talking to two of you guys on the course and the entire podcast audience, but it's an important spot. It's a really this is going to be important to me that we do well and that we're all together in this. And I've already talked to Cole Brewster. I've already talked to D. Nizzi. I know they're in. I know that we got a guy in Maryland who's in. But there's two other people who I've not heard from as of yet, haven't talked to, DM nothing. So let's go, guys. Come on now. If you're going to be part of this, you got to be part of this. So sorry for the rant. Okay, before I give you the picks and plays, let me tell you about our friends at Bleacher Book. It's a great new game. We've been talking about it a lot. You can play against your friends in a league-style betting format to figure out who knows what they're talking about when it comes to betting on the NFL. Ditch those old, boring fantasy leagues. Get into the action. Create weekly, season-long leagues, weekly or season-long leagues, customizable leagues. As a commissioner, you decide the length of the league, max number of players, starting wallet, minimum bet requirements, and more. Bleacher Book gives you the thrill of sports betting without losing your shirt. Compete against your friends for betting glory. Go get signed up at bleacherbook.us. Create your league today. Use that promo code JUICE20 to get 20% off any Bleacher Book league you create this season. That's bleacherbook.us. Big bets, no regrets. JUICE20 at bleacherbook.us. All right, let's start with the college football play here, and it's Coastal Carolina hosting Kansas. Okay, this is fascinating, like really fascinating. So last year, Coastal was on the road at Kansas. Kansas was favored by 6. Okay, they blew the doors off Kansas, killed them. And that was sort of the first time we went, oh, Grayson McCall. Huh, I know that kid. This offense is going to score, just an absolute ton of points. And they're now, they're a brand. The Chanticleers, they're a brand, okay? And people want to watch their football games. They are interested in their football games. So, what do they do coming up here this year, right? So they won 38-23 last September 12th at Kansas, okay? And a lot of people are now coming around to the idea that, okay, this Coastal team, what they're building, what they're doing, they're really good, okay? So they're laying 25, 26 points here. I just can't get my head around it. It's 25.5 at most books, 26 at certain books. I just can't get my head around it, okay? The total is 52.5. I don't think Kansas scores. They scored 17 points last week against a joke school. Scored 17 points at home. They're on the road now at Coastal. It's going to be a rocking atmosphere. The problem is, I just think that the number 25.5, 4 touchdowns, it's just got backdoor cover written all over it. And I'm just, on a Friday night, I'm just not down with it. So what I am going to do here is I'm going to eliminate Kansas altogether because I think Kansas is bad. 38.5 team total, okay? 52.5 is the game total. 38.5 is the team total here. I'm going to take the over. 38.5. FanDuel's got it at minus 106, okay? You can grab that at FanDuel if you would like. Team total over 38.5. You can shop around. You might get a better number than me coming up here today, okay? But we're going to play the Coastal Carolina team total over 38.5 at minus 106. And hopefully you guys, by the time you're listening to this, maybe this number comes down. And maybe you're getting it at 37. You're getting it at 36, somewhere in that range. I'm going to play 38.5. I think there's a decent shot they score 40 on Kansas because I don't think they're going to let up. The one thing about this is I don't think they're going to pull the dogs off here on a Friday night ESPN2 broadcast, a chance to showcase the program at the Big 12 school, run it up, put the scoreboard up, let everyone go, oh my gosh, Coastal did what to Kansas? 52-7 or 48-7, something along those lines. But I think Coastal's got a real good shot of scoring in the 40s here. So we're going to go Coastal, one play, one unit, minus 106, over 38.5 points up against Kansas today. Coastal over 38.5 points team total for this game here tonight. Other than that, and before I give you the NFL plays, I'll give you the parlay because it's going to be 3 college football plays. I'm going to ride the under train for one more day. There is a 3-game under 3-leg parlay at plus 600. Comes in right at plus 600. UTEP, Boise State, under 56.5. North Carolina A&T and Duke, under 55.5. And Kansas and Coastal, under 52.5. Going to play those 3 for the Don't Bet a parlay, which is now 7-25 all time. We're going to go 3 unders. We're going to ride this under train once again here on a Friday night for college football and just hope that we keep seeing less offense, not a lot of scoring, and, we see something along the lines of like a 40-3 type of win here for Coastal. They get to 40, but only 43 points. Kansas doesn't score at all, so the under comes in here with Coastal and Kansas. That would cover the spread, obviously, if that happened, but I don't think we're going to see a lot of KU offense, so I don't think you can play the over here because I don't think Kansas scores more than 10 points. I could very easily see this like a 40-10 final, and you lose. And the under comes in. So we're going Kansas at Coastal, North Carolina A&T at Duke, and UTEP at Boise State for the Don't Bet a parlay. 7-25 all time. 3 legs at plus 600 for us here today for a Friday. Okay, let's talk about Sunday. I've got 2 full unit totals. We are already on the over for the Raiders and the Ravens. Did you see what happened to the Ravens on Thursday? They lost Gus Edwards. They lost Marcus Peters. I mean, they are decimated. Great for the over. Sorry, I don't like injuries for anybody, but Le'Veon Bell and Latavius Murray are going to be the running backs for the Ravens coming up. Okay, they're not going to run the ball all that effectively. It's Lamar Jackson. He's going to run and throw, and he's going to have a big game against that Raiders defense. He's going to light them up, I believe, throwing and running. Raiders, on the other hand, I think they light up that secondary for the Ravens, and I think the Raiders score and score a lot. The Raiders on primetime home game opening night, give me over 50.5. We love it, okay? Over 50.5, we're going with that. Let's talk about the Cardinals and the Titans here, okay? Cardinals and the Titans. This is going to be a very fun football game. Now, the total is 52 in this game. It's a little bit higher than I wanted it to be, but I played over 52 Cardinals-Titans for this reason. Full unit. So if you look at some of the games at home, last year, home opener against Jacksonville for the Titans, week 2, 33-30, went over by 18.5 points. At home against Buffalo, went over by 6 points. At home against Houston, went over by 26 points. A home against Pittsburgh wound up being a push. Home against Indianapolis went over by 2 points. Home against Cleveland went over by 22 points. Home against Detroit went over by 16.5 points. Over playing at home in Nashville for the Titans, they score points, and they also give up points. They have a lot of shootouts for home games. They beat Buffalo 42-16 in week 4, but Jacksonville 33-30 last year in the first home game. The total, I think that this team's got question marks on defense. I think they've got some question marks. I don't know which side you can jump on. A.J. Brown's not 100%, so he's not fully. And then we know Julio Jones is not 100%. A lot of people are saying this could be not a fall down year, but a come back down to earth a little bit year for the running game with Derrick Henry. I'm on the over 9.5 wins for the Titans. Guys, I like the Titans, but I'm going to play the over for the Cardinals and the Titans here. Over 52 for these two teams. 51's a key number. 52 is not, but I'm just going to play the over 52 and hope that it doesn't burn us here. I think we're going to see a lot of points, maybe both teams in the 30s here. Cardinals and the Titans over 52 for 1 unit on Sunday. And then the second play coming up on Sunday, we are going with the Colts and the Seahawks. So Seattle last year, my goodness, the first 3 games all went over for them last year by 13.5, by 20, and by 11.5. Those totals were 49.5, 45, and 58. The next 2 games went under, but the next 3 games went over. That's when they were letting Russ cook. I think they're going to go back to letting Russ cook again. And I think the Colts also have an offense that can exploit and take advantage of that defense for Seattle. I don't like that defense for Seattle all that much. They give up a lot of points. They gave up 28 points in week 1, 30 points in week 2, 31 points in week 3, 23 points in week 4, 26 points in week number 5. They just 37 points in week 6. 27-44 the next 2 weeks. I mean, this defense is bad, and they've been bad, and I think they're going to be bad again. And I think Seattle gives up a lot of points. Over 49.5. Colts and the Seahawks for one full unit here for us. Okay, so like I mentioned, I'm going to be way heavier on Sunday than Saturday. Okay, so I've got one play in college football today. That's the team total over 38.5 for Coastal Carolina. Iowa State minus 4.5 and BYU plus 7 on Saturday. I may have one, maybe two more plays on Saturday, maybe, okay? Maybe not. I don't know. And then we'll get into everything happening on Sunday. Cards, Titans over, Colts, Seahawks over 49.5. And we will consistently, and I'll add, and I'll tell you where we're going to go with picks and plays. There are plays that I'm watching. There's plays I've already made that I'll tell you about coming up tomorrow on the podcast for Saturday. We're kind of betting ahead here for a couple of days as we're doing it, okay? So it's, we have the teaser with the Bills. That game, that's going to spill over into Bills to win. We already have that going on Sunday. Cardinals, Titans over, Colts, Seahawks over on Sunday, and Raiders over with the Ravens on Monday. Already, in advance, we're already kind of jumping in on that. So that's where Sundays we'll be getting into the player props. And I'll be adding different picks and plays as we go, as the numbers kind of bounce around. I've already grabbed on a couple of them, but I'm going to hold those plays until we kind of see where we're going. I will have another another teaser for sure going. There's one I'm eyeballing quite closely right now, kind of trying to see what we're going to wind up getting for numbers. So we'll have more plays coming up for Saturday and Sunday on the podcast. But for today, only one play in action. I'm traveling. I'm going to be crazy. I probably won't even see the Coastal game, so it's unfortunate. But Coastal versus Kansas, over 38.5 team total for Coastal Carolina tonight against Kansas for one unit. And then we'll get into Iowa State and BYU on Saturday. And the games on Sunday. We'll have a full recap all coming up on the podcast. My name is Matt Perrault. Follow me on Twitter at SportsTalkMatt each and every morning. It's the Daily Juice Podcast. By the way, when I wear these hats mean nothing. I have a 49er hat on right now. It means nothing. I was wearing a Bucks hat yesterday. They mean nothing. Okay? I just wear different hats for fun. That's all I do, okay? Every morning, Daily Juice Podcast right here on BettingPros.com. Always being brought to you by BetMGM.